Hello. Come on in. How you guys doing today?
I'm currently printing, so a lot of
Printing?
me.
That's fun. Can you guys hear my music okay?
I'm not the person to ask for that because I can't hear music on my computer, period. So,
Oh, that is interesting. All right
isn't
then.
that something?
Yeah. Just
I
like
can,
music in general, but you can hear me?
yeah, I can hear any talking, but I can't hear music. So if there's a video playing or anything, it doesn't register music at all. Like if I watch like a movie trailer or something,
Yeah,
I
it
can
doesn't,
hear the words, but not music. It's
but
wild.
not the mute. That is actually, I can't even figure out the tech behind that. That's so
I know.
fascinating. Yeah.
I know. And
Oh.
you know us like we're trying to be all techie and stuff. We're like,
Yeah, and then
that's a
it's
new
like,
one.
but Kelly, I saw that you could see it okay, or you could hear the music okay. Okay, good. Hi, Sammy. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Amanda. We are gonna get started in just a second. Let me go ahead and make sure. Does everyone have their workbook for today, or does anyone still need it? Great. Sammy's got it. Kelly's got it. Let's see. Amanda's printing. I think she was printing out the workbook. Is that right? Nice, nice. Good job. It is both. You guys can print it. It's also completely fillable. So I'll show you in a little bit, but you can come on here and just even go tap, 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 which is always quite fun and nice. Hi, Sabrina. Hi, Anna. Hello. We're just getting started. I'm just double checking. Does anyone need the workbook still? I can put it. I don't have a printer. That's okay. I never print my stuff out, Lisa. I always lose it if I do. I can drop it in the chat if anyone needs it. You just got to let me know. But everyone is getting sorted. I see Sabrina's got her printed. Nice. Getting it all sorted. Oh, hi, Steph. Hello. All right. Let me go ahead and pull this music down for now while I get us all started. Welcome, everyone, to our Your Year, Your Intention Setting workshop. I'm so excited to do this workshop today. This is going to be a very interactive workshop. I know many of you are in the Speak Honest membership program, so you know what it's like, but this one is going to be a little bit more. I'm going to have you guys be writing stuff down and then sharing. So get an idea already right now if you feel comfortable sharing out loud. I'd like you to try to use your virtual hand. Does everyone know where to find that in their Zoom? Great. All right, perfect. And then I can ask you to unmute, or you should be able to unmute yourself. But we're going to try to use our hand today to just kind of keep some organization. Or what I would really love is for you to share it in the chat today. So if anything's coming up for you and you want to share it right away, you guys know how to interact with one another, jump off of each other, talk about things, see how things are going, because we're going to be really interactive. There's going to be moments here where I'm going to turn music on and we're just going to be thinking and processing because this hour is for you. Oftentimes we say we are going to sit down and map out our year, and then what happens? Kids right there get exactly. Kids get, all up in our stuff, or, a dog needs us, or our job needs us, or something is going on. And so that's what today's for. And it's okay if you're distracted. It's okay if you have other stuff going on because that's life. But what this does is get you accountable. It gets you here with us today. And so I see in the chat, Lisa says, how can I do this without the workbook? You can just follow along and do it in your headspace with us, Lisa. It's no problem. And then later on, check your email. Your workbook should be in there. Or let us know in the group chat. I know you're in our membership, so you can just grab it from there as well. And you'll be able to see, I'm going to share my screen over here the whole time. And you're going to be able to see everything it is that we're doing. So everyone go ahead and get your workbooks. And again, no problem if you don't have it right now or you can't find it. You're like, Jen, it got stuck in my email. What doesn't matter. I've got a link right here. I literally, look, I'll even put it in so no one even has to be like, yeah, I have it. Sure. Here's a nice, pretty link for you. Grab it. You can put it right there in your PDF. You don't even need to look at me. It's not a big deal. I want you to focus this. You have it downloaded, but not on paper. Beautiful. You can just look at it there and you could just be able to go through it. So, It starts off here, your year, your intention. This is our guide to setting intentions for 2026. The first step we're going to do is start looking at this year. So I want you to start thinking about that. But here's what we're going to do. You can read a little bit about me. If you don't know me, you all know me. Here's our contents. All right, there's 5 steps to this, and I want us to go through this. We're not going to get through everything today, but what we're going to do is start the process for everything. First, we're going to start reflecting on our year. Then we're going to define our why. Next, we're going to look at our 8 areas of life. And if we're not familiar with what those are, that's okay. I'll go through them. Next, we're going to write our intentions. And then we're going to turn our intentions into action. And now I see Anna asking in the chat, it's not letting you type it in. You need to open it up as a PDF and it should let you type it in. As a Word document, it usually doesn't. So it will open as a PDF and that should do it. If not, then unfortunately I don't know how to do it otherwise than that. You can also just open up a Google Doc and follow along with us. I can even put in these questions in the chat for you to put into a Google Doc. We'll figure this out together. So let's see. With that said, any questions off the bat before we get started? All right. Beautiful. Beautiful. If at any time you do have a question, let me know in the chat. Oh, yes, Kelly, I see you. Yeah, I'll ask you to unmute. Go ahead.
You want to change my name to Kelly.
Oh, yes, I can do that, darling. Yes.
I I usually am in a rush to get on here to get on Zoom without any application. So if I don't take time to sign in, it puts me on administrator, and I have a hassle because it usually makes me go and it will have to send a code to my phone, and I have to punch that in order to
No
get.
worries, I got you. For
I don't.
today, for the day, this doesn't even really matter too much, so it'll be perfect. So it'll
Okay.
be good.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.
Yeah.
All right. And Steph, I see you're writing yours in your notebook with your pen and paper. I agree. I like doing pen and paper a lot as well. I also like sometimes keeping things on my computer because it keeps me more organized. So, and sometimes we just do things in our heads, and that's okay too. It's just about getting you guys to a place where you can start processing and thinking about this. And so let's go ahead and start in the beginning. This is going to be our first little 2 to 3 minute moment where we're going to take some time to ourselves. And we're going to say, what were 3 moments in 2025 that brought you joy or fulfillment? What are 3 moments that drained your energy or didn't feel aligned with who you are? And what's one lesson from 2025 that you want to carry into 2026? Let me turn on our pretty little music and let's spend some time thinking about this. If you have any questions as you're going along, please feel free to raise your virtual hand or ask me in the chat. I will be on with you guys this whole time. I'll fill it out with you guys. Oh, perfect, Sabrina. You did yours last night. Look, I love it. My star student. Would you be willing to share some later, Sabrina? Okay, great. I'll call on you in just a couple minutes. Sabrina, if you want to get a jump start on any of the other bits for that, go ahead. Just start looking through them and feel into them. All right. How are we all doing? You see me? I'm filling some of mine out. You guys getting an idea for what it is? Just to give you some flow to see, get your brain thinking. You can still keep doing this in your own moment. I love this. Amanda says, one lesson I want to carry with me into 2026 is my growth. Yes, I love that. And a moment that was a joy was fostering kittens again and bottle feeding and successfully weaning them. Yes, that's beautiful. I love that. Sabrina, would you like to come on and share a couple of yours? Yeah?
Yeah, I guess for the like maybe like the three moments in 2025 that brought joy or fulfillment to me. Um, it might not just be, well, it kind of is joy or fulfillment for me because I felt like I had a lot to do with it, but the accomplishments that my children made, because I feel like I was a big part of that. Um, because if it wasn't for me, I don't know, maybe if they may not would have made those accomplishments. Um, and then I also feel like another big one for me is joining the relationship reboot program, was another um, big one that brought me joy and fulfillment. And then one that might have drained me um, was continuing an unhealthy, toxic relationship for as long as I did. I think I could have made the decision that I did a lot sooner instead of kind of letting it consume so much of my energy. Um, so I felt like that went on a lot longer than what it really needed to. And then
Mm,
I also felt like another thing that really drained me was, and maybe even still is working so hard at my self-worth. Like
mm,
I feel like that maybe it's not really easy for some people for it to come to you, but I feel like it's been such a huge chore for me to work at my self-worth. Um, and it shouldn't really be that big of a chore. So I felt like that was really draining a lot of my energy, and it really shouldn't have. And a lesson that I want to bring in to carry into 2026 is to still remain in some type of healing program, whether it be um, the new one, maybe
hmm
that we're starting here, or something that even though I feel like, wow, I've got it, I'm good. You know what I mean? I still think maybe staying in something to stay stronger. I feel like I am strong. I got this, but to stay stronger and to keep that repetitive strength would be great.
I love that. I love how you said to stay stronger, like I am strong, and then you're adding the in there. I think that's beautiful. And I
Yeah.
love all of your honesty to all of your answers because some of that stuff is really difficult to go through and to really look in a mirror and see about yourself. But the act of being that honest with yourself is what's going to
Hmm.
drive you forward. So beautiful job. I love it. Thank you for
Yeah. Thank
sharing. I
you.
really
Yeah.
appreciate that. Gorgeous. All
Yeah.
right. I see some
Thanks.
beautiful comments in the chat as well. Keep those going. Those are good for you guys as well to get them flowing. And now I want us to move on to the next page. This one can sometimes be quite difficult. We're on page 6, defining your why. Okay, we're gonna answer these 4 questions as best as we can in the next couple of minutes. And let me go through them with you a little bit here. And then anyone that maybe wants to share afterwards, just to kind of give some other people an idea. But question 1, what drives you to want to change or grow in your life? What drives you? That could be your friends, your family, your values, your spirituality, whatever it is. And then question 2, what's missing in your life that you want to create more of? This could be a hard one to look at sometimes because it'll make you sad to think it's missing, but it's important to be honest. Next, what impact will aligning my intentions with my actions have on my life? And what this means is how will taking these thoughts that we're doing today and then doing actions, what kind of effect will that have on your life? Right? Let me know if you want me to clarify that question anymore. And then question 4, how will I feel if I don't make intentional changes this year? How will I feel if I don't make intentional changes this year? Remember, try to use some of those feeling statements, the sadness, the frustration, maybe happiness. Like, I'm not telling you how you feel. I don't mind. So let's go ahead and do some of these. Let me put some more music on. And again, let me know if you have any questions. If you're like, Jen, I just don't quite understand what that question means. Can you give me some examples? That's what we're here for. Oh, I love that, Ellie. Alignment and strength to act with values. Yes, that's beautiful. Let me think of some of mine. Let's see. What drives me to want to change or grow? Ooh, beautiful, Sammy. I love this. I'm gonna share those in a little bit. What's missing? All right, how are we all feeling? Good. I want to share some of these. They're really pretty. Sam says longevity. She wants to live to enjoy her great-grandchildren. Isn't that a great drive? Does anyone else have a drive that they want to share? What drives you? Let's turn that off for now.
I said better relationships, but what would make you, like better relationships all around, like friendships, relationships
Mm-hmm.
with family, but what would be the drive in that? Like,
Yeah, what is driving you? You want more, if you want better great question. If you want better relationships all
what would be
around,
the drive? Like,
connection.
connection. Yeah.
Hmm. I know for you, probably a big thing that drives you to want to change or grow in your life is your children.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And you just want to be better for them, right? Because you
Yeah.
want
So
them to have a good life. Yeah.
I guess it's just bettering my
Just your people.
relationships.
Yeah, your relationships, I'd
Yeah.
say in general. Like the people in your life drive you, because that's not the case
Yeah.
for everyone.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think that's beautiful. So great. Great job. Let's see what else we got. Anyone else have what drives you? Do I have any else in here? These
Yeah.
are deep questions. Yeah, Steph, go ahead, please.
When I was reflecting on the what makes me feel like myself, like
Hmm.
the joy fulfillment, I was thinking what drives me is the memory of times that I felt like myself. I was thinking,
Ooh.
okay, I want to feel like that again.
The memory of the times when I felt like myself. That's so beautiful. I love that. That's what drives you forward.
Mhm.
Thank you for sharing that. That helps people kind of get outside of their thought process. What drives me, Anna says, is I'm tired of feeling like I'm spinning and not being valued for who I am. Yeah. Yeah, that's real. I love that. Thank you for that honesty. All right. Well, what's missing in my life and I want more of? Sam says, more playtime, inner child joy. I love that. I said spending more time on my physical health. I always say I'm going to go out for a walk and then I don't. I just haven't been walking as well. I used to walk all the time and go to like these really beautiful hikes. That's what was missing in my life a lot this year. Yeah, inner child joy. That is good. More playtime. More playtime is good. Yeah, this is good why we share because then other people can grab them too. Beautiful. All right. What impact will aligning my intentions with my actions have on my life? So this one is getting you to actually think of like, okay, what is my why? Like, why am I doing these intentions? Right? How will this impact align with me? Yeah, this one is a hard one. I think it's a hard question in general, Sabrina. So I think it's really beautiful. And so it's kind of like looking at, if you can kind of visualize it in some way, it's just like, how will aligning your intentions with your actions, what do you think that will bring to you? Because you can have intentions like, yes, I want better relationships, but what are we doing to get there, right? This is part of our why. So it just kind of might seem simple. Yeah, like it will bring Lynette peace. It seems like a simple question, but I want you guys to be seen. That's why. That's why we're aligning our intentions with our actions. Yeah, Amanda says less stress and a calm mind. I really like Amanda OG, by the way. That helped me see who you were immediately because like sometimes I do get confused which one it is, so I love that. Oh, Amanda says this is so hard for me right now. I've fallen. Yeah, I get that, and that's okay. Sometimes we can be in a really deep depressive state. You're showing up, you're doing your best. Don't push yourself any more than you need to. This is you right now. Right now, you're aligning your intention to show up today with your action to show up. So you see how you align that together? And you're showing up here with us. So it's a beautiful job. Positive outcomes. I love that, Kelly. Great job. All right. And how will I feel if I don't make intentional changes this year?
Disappointed,
Disappointed is a good one. Yeah, disappointed. Mm-hmm.
disoriented.
Disoriented is also good. Yeah. For mine, I said, I was really trying to think about it. And I was like, you know what? I would feel curious because I would really start to wonder. Oh, I love that. I would really start to wonder why didn't I make any intentional changes? Like, what was going on in my life that I didn't? So for me, it was like curiosity of like, oh, ooh, self-sabotage stuck. Yeah. I like that, Lynette. I forgot that's my struggle. Oh, yeah. So this is good. See what we're doing here. Yeah. What will I feel if I don't make intentional changes this year? I will feel sucked into capitalism. Gorgeous, beautiful. Mm. We just need to hold each other more accountable. That's so your intention, if I may, Anna, is I have you have an intention to want to hold people more accountable, right? And your action will align with that. And what will that bring you? It will allow you yourself to become accountable. So see how just becoming aware and setting these intentions will get us there. I don't practice what I preach. Yeah, most of us don't. That's fine. It took me a while to get there too. I need someone to hold me accountable. Yes. Yeah. And that's the beautiful part. Look, Anna and Lisa already making that connection together. Maybe that's their intention. All right, so a beautiful little quote here. The new year stands before us like a chapter in a book waiting to be written. We can help write that story by setting goals. That's how we do this. We can't just say, I want to go on vacation and then stick a bunch of shit in our car and then have no idea where we're going. Right? We have to make goals. We have to make intentions. We have to know where we're going. We need to know, oh, okay, I want to go to Santa Cruz. I want to go to Florida. I want to go to the new Universal theme park. Whatever it is, you got to know first. Yeah, I still got to get there. That's like one of my goals for 2026. So now what we're going to do is we're going to step into the 8 areas of life. And if you're unfamiliar with this, basically what this is the 8 key areas of life that we want to be looking at all times in order to really be moving forward. So oftentimes we'll get ourselves kind of stuck in this way of like, I'm just focused on work. I'm doing great at work, but you've kind of let maybe your relationships or your mental health or your physical health or your spiritual health kind of fall at the wayside. So, what brings us enlightenment and all of this together is being able to look at all 8 areas and see, okay, what do I need to do? In the next 8 pages after this, we are going to really break this down each time. So, again, this is one of those things where we're not necessarily going to have time to do today, but it's going to get you started, is what my goal is. And so let's go through all of them just again to do a quick overview. We have recreational. Recreational is fun, play, and rest. This is that idea of we don't need to work really hard to rest. We just deserve rest, right? We want to make time for our hobbies. We want to make time for relaxation, for joy, for binge watching. I don't know about you, but Stranger Things season 5 is on, and I'm about to binge it this weekend. And I have like planned for this and it's in my calendar and I am ready to go, right? Like this is me intentionally setting this idea to go watch this. We also have vocational, right? We use this word because not everyone has a career or a job or work. It's whatever it is that is your purpose in life. This could be school, it could be family, it could be jobs. It's a thing you work at. And we have our mental. This is anything that you're doing for personal growth or self-development, reading, going back to school, all of those things. And then we have our physical health. That one's pretty obvious, right? Just our physical health, our energy, all that. We have our finances. This one can be often hard. Some of us, we don't even manage our own finances. We don't even know what that looks like, except it is important to have this financial area of your life taken care of in a way in which you're intentional with it. If that intention is just, I let someone else take care of it, great. So long as you know that that is your intention, it's just about being mindful. Then we have our social. Our social is more of our community. How do we give back? What's our contribution? What are our friendships? When we get into relational, these are more like our close friendships, right? So when we talk about social, we're talking about more of a general overview of our community around us. How are we giving back? Maybe we want to volunteer more. Maybe we want to give more. Maybe in 2026, we want to put more of our paycheck away to start giving it to certain organizations. This is part of your social. You can see how now we're mixing our financials and our socials together. This is what it's like. Everything is mixed together, and it's about getting intentional to see which one. And we have relational, pretty easy. Those are your deep connections, your family, your friends, your close friends, your parents, your kids, all those. And then spiritual. And spiritual sometimes can get people stuck because it's like, I don't do religion, and that's fair. Especially those of us that have had religious trauma could be a touchy subject for us. And I want us to be mindful that spirituality isn't just God. It isn't just a religion. If anything, it's not religion. It's your own personal connection with source, with your faith, with your meditation, with your inner body. It's inner child work, right? It's any of that stuff that makes you feel connected. It's prayer, it's meditation, it's mindfulness, it's thoughtfulness, it's nature. I think we talk about that a lot sometimes, don't we, Lisa? It's that nature moment of just being in there and seeing a beautiful tree outside. That's spirituality. So all of that is what we're doing. So for the next 5 minutes or so, I want us to go through some of these and start with these questions. So you're going to notice how in each one of these, it's all kind of the same questions. And here's what they're going to be in each 8 area of life. What brings you the most joy in this area of life? So what I want you to do right now is maybe pick an area that you want to work through. Sometimes an easy one for people is relational. Sometimes it's vocational. Um, whatever, pick the easiest one. Don't pick the hardest one right now because then you'll get stuck. Pick the physical. Physical. Who doesn't have a New Year's resolution to get healthier, right? So if the physical area of your life, what brings you the most joy? For me, right, it'd be like walking. I just love walking. And how can I do more of it? So that's what I'm asking myself. How can I make more space for fun or rest without feeling guilty? This one, because this is recreational. Okay. So if we come down here, How can I align my work with what feels more meaningful to me? See, each one of these questions is going to be slightly more aligned with each area of life. And so just kind of take a look at those. But the idea is basically like, how can I get, more of this? How can I align this? And then how will I know I've succeeded in creating more joy in my life? Down here, how will I know I've succeeded in making my work more purposeful? Let's look at mental. How will I know I've succeeded in strengthening my mindset? Because if you know anything about me, you know I love a good SMART goal, right? They need to be goals that are specific and measurable and attainable and realistic and timely. So one of the biggest questions we ask when we set goals is like, great, I want to have better relationships. But then the question is, how will you know you have better relationships? I want to get healthy. Great. How will you know when you get healthy? This big key part right here, this question down here is key in all of these goals that we are setting. How will you know when you have succeeded in this moment? So I'm going to turn some music on and we're going to start flowing here for maybe 5 minutes. And if anyone wants to share when anything comes up for them, let me know, because I think it's helpful sometimes for us to be hearing what other people are going through, and then for us to be able to use that for ourselves. Oh, I love this. Steph says spirituality for her is paying attention to what she's doing in the moment. That's beautiful. That's mindfulness. Oh, I love this. I feel stuck in which one to choose first. Let's explore that. What pops up in your head right now, Amanda, when you start thinking about your life? What's the first thing that comes to mind?
Well, it's just like there's something in every category that I'm like, well, I only have a few minutes in this, in our time here. So which one do I actually sit down and focus on? And my brain is like, I feel like I'm good in the recreational area though, Lynette. Like, so I'm like, yeah, I could write all day. It's just straight theme parks all the way down. So, but as far as like which ones I actually want to work on in 2026, I'm like, well, I don't know. There's this like a little bit of something.
Well, eventually you're gonna work on all of them. We're gonna do all of these. But for right now, what would you say is the easiest one for you to work on so you get an idea for what we're doing first? But you're bringing up literally what everyone's thinking. It's beautiful.
Well, then I should do recreation because that is the easiest.
Yeah, let's do it. So you start with recreation, and that's an easy one. What brings you the most joy? Fill that out. How can you make more space for that? And then how will you know when you've created more joy in your life? So try some of that and then let me know how it goes, okay?
Okay.
Beautiful. And Steph says, does anyone have any ideas for me on how to make space for fun or rest without feeling guilty? Ah, yes. So with any of these, great question, Steph. The feeling of guilt will come up with nearly any of them. And that guilt that we feel, we just release it as we go on. And we just remind ourselves, oh, we are actually doing something that's intentional for us right now. And that's what I think is really good about intention setting, is I'm hoping, and if it doesn't work, let me know. But what I'm hoping is by intentionally saying you want to rest, it's almost like you've put it on your to-do list. So there, you get to check it off. So let me know if that, I know you were going to say that, but right? It means you don't need to feel guilty because it's literally on your list. You're like, oh, great, I did it. And then the other thing I would do, and maybe we could work on this, inside of the program, is what are you feeling guilty about? Like, what's going on there? And this is why, and truly, that feeling of guilt tends to ease when you start noticing in your wheel of life that you're balancing. And so all of a sudden you're like, I'm not doing enough. I can't be resting. There's people out there that need me. And then you're like, okay, wait, hold up. I'm looking at my list and I've done so much for other people right now. It's time for me to rebuild myself so I can get back out there. And that comes with just more intention of being able to see. Because without intention, we can just get stuck in that loop of a guilt. Is that kind of helping, Steph?
Yeah, I like what you said about it tends to ease when you notice that things are balanced.
Mm-hmm.
And I came up with a couple ideas, which is scheduling fun or rest with other people, because I'm more likely to follow through.
Love
And
that.
also stop scheduling things after work so that I have time to come home, cook dinner, do everything I need to do, and then read, because that's reading is the main thing that brings me rest and joy.
Oh, you like reading?
Yeah,
That's
before
good.
bed.
I like that. And you want to do that more?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a beautiful intention right there. I want to read more. Great. How can I get that? Right? Like, I love that a lot. And I love how you're habit stacking. If anyone's not familiar with that, it's just kind of like when you pick an action that you want to do and you do it with something else that you already like doing. So if you like having friends, go to the gym with them. I hate that because I use gym time to listen to podcasts and books. And so don't talk to me when I'm at the gym. I hate it. So that would not be a habit stack for me. My habit stack is like, oh shit, I gotta get through this book. Let me stick it on 2 speed as I go on the treadmill. Beautiful, beautiful. Let's see. Ditto for relationships. Paige, are you looking for help with where's Paige? Where's she? There she is. Are you looking for help with how to not feel guilty with relationships or something else? Let me know. Amanda says she gives herself grace so she doesn't feel guilty for resting. That's beautiful. Let's see. Anna says
I
Oh,
think it's
there's
just,
Paige. Yes,
I
hi,
don't
go
even
on.
know. Uh, Hi, so sorry. I don't even know where to go with the relationship section because I feel like this year my relationships have been kind of abysmal.
All right, so let's scroll down to relationships. How can you deepen your connections with the people closest to you right now? So think about who's closest with you right now.
Um, Maybe spend more time with my friends in Antigua.
Okay. Because one of the things I know you and I are specifically working on is how do we better our relationships with the people who bring us joy? And how do we start releasing the relationships that don't?
Oh, I see. I guess I was focusing on the relationships that I don't necessarily have, which is basically like the
Mm-hmm.
relationships with my family, because I feel like I'm distancing, well, they're kind of
I
distancing from me.
I I think you're not
Uh,
alone in that, which is why the very first question, this you're not alone in this at all, which is why the very first question I want for people to be thinking about with the relationships is who is already closest to you? And how can you deepen those connections? Because so often we look at things outside of us that we don't have. But what do we already have? How can you deepen your relationships with us in here?
uh,
Start with what you have and then see who comes into your life after that. And then in addition to that, you can keep going. What boundaries would help you show up more authentically in your relationships? And then how will you know when you've succeeded in building stronger relationships? Great questions. Let's see. Where are we at? I saw a question. Oh, here it is. Anna says, I'm in a different place. I'm not giving too much to others, but I often feel guilty that I'm not doing important things I need to do, whether it's the ADHD or the stress. Yeah, you do. You give so much to us, Anna. That's so true. That's beautiful. So up here in the beginning, when we were talking about what is 3 moments that drain your energy or don't feel aligned, you can say something like, you're feeling guilty for not doing important things. Just, and then start questioning and asking yourself, what is important to you? And thinking about what does that mean? Not doing important things. That importance is different to every single person. So how can you be showing up and doing more important things? Because that's a great thought process to have. I mean, we have to be honest about that stuff. Like, okay, like for me, I genuinely speaking, I feel like I want to be doing more in the world. Like, I don't feel like I'm doing enough. This year was a very, very selfish year for me, and I'll take it, and I love it, and it was wonderful. But where can I start going back out there and fighting? And where can I start doing more protests and getting up on stages and speaking up for communities that are important to my heart? That was a big thing I wanted to do. That's in my social area of life that I have set for myself is like, okay, I'm going to get out of my comfort zone and I'm going to start showing up for people and be like, where can I use my voice to help them? That's important work to me. But see how I don't have guilt around having not done that this year. I receive and accept the love that I had. I have it. And now, because I'm fulfilled, I get to go and all of my bucket that's overflowing now gets to go be given to others. That's how we can kind of release that guilt a little bit. Let's see. I've had to shift my mindset around this, Steph. I now have to shift resting fulfills XYZ need and plugging the holes in my bucket. Yeah, that's exactly it, Amanda. That's how you do it. Because you see now that resting isn't so often we think of resting as this thing that we shouldn't be doing, and it's like this guilty pleasure. And it truly is this need. It is an actual need that we have. If we don't have it, we will burn out. And that includes rest and relaxation and fun and playfulness and all of that stuff. That's why I like recreational. Yes, Amanda, go ahead.
It's because of you that I realized that. So I thank you so so much, and my husband thanks you too, because I would be in such a dark place just by sitting on the couch for 5 minutes because it would just start that downward spiral. And now I know that it's not selfish; it is necessary and fulfilling those needs. So I go back to that spreadsheet every time of what needs am I fulfilling with this, and it
Yes, it is a
brings
need.
such warmth to my soul. So thank you.
Yay. And I like that somatic wording that you use there. Warmth to my soul is gorgeous. Oh, thank you for sharing that. I love that. Let's see.
Well,
Um,
and didn't
oh,
Amanda do the recreational fun and rest?
she
Was that
did.
her? Okay, that's kind of what I was doing too. And I put on mine, how can I make space for, I rest when needed, or I try to rest after my activities so I have more energy to do more again later. I used to feel very guilty when I would rest, but I've learned that if I can't care for myself, I can't care or be with others. And then um how do I know when I've succeeded? Having both, or having the fun time and relaxation all together in life, then there's no more of the burnout and feeling guilty.
Oh,
So
I
it's
love,
I'm kind of
yes.
on the same page as Amanda. So
Exactly. You know, someone once said to me, maybe you guys can take this. Don't ask yourself, how is your work ethic? All right, we all talk about our work ethic, right? How's your work ethic? I've got a good work ethic. I want to know, what's your rest ethic like?
hmm.
Check in with your
Hmm.
rest ethic. Are you resting because
Hmm.
you believe you earned it? Or are you resting because you deserve it already inherently?
For
You
sure.
don't like, are you working because you're like, oh, great, I have earned the right to work because I've rested enough? Nobody does that, right? We work
Right.
because we have this idea in our head, but our rest is just as important. Remember, life is all about balance. If we rest
Hmm.
too much, that's also bad. If we work too much, it's also bad. It's
Hmm.
that it's that
Getting
balance.
the
So check your
balance,
rest ethic, as I always
for
say.
sure.
I love that.
For sure.
Thank you for sharing, Sabrina. Um, let's see. I don't know how to answer number two. How do you mean number two? Oh, I see here you're missing something. Oh no, Anna. I'm sorry. I don't know what you're missing, hun. Let's see. I feel like yes, I feel like some areas I don't want to change, just maintain. Yeah, maintaining, that's exactly it, Ellie. Great question, because maintaining is actually harder than changing sometimes. Because with change, right, we can ebb and we can flow. We can go forward, we can go backwards. And so maintaining something can be just as difficult as anything else. So it's like, okay, great. What brought you joy in that area of life and what do you want to maintain?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Is that making sense?
It really does. Like I look at this and I think, oh, actually, I can celebrate a little bit right now because I actually improved some things. I ran a 10K I've never done that before. Um, I started like a kind of a self-care routine in the morning, and I want to hold on to that. I don't really want to enhance it at all because I want to make it easy. I want to make this easy.
Yes,
So,
that's a great intention for 2026 is to make it easy. I love that word for you. Ease.
ooh,
And so if let's say if you're talking about like your healthcare routine in the morning, I'd think of that as like physical, right? So,
mm-hmm.
what would feeling healthy and energized look like for you? You would literally put down the routine you're already doing. You could
Okay.
just put it down like I'm already doing it. So, what small changes can I make to prioritize my physical health? You can say I'm already doing that. I've made those changes and I'm really proud of myself and this is what I want to keep doing. And then how will I know I've
Mm-hmm.
succeeded? I maintain.
Through times of unrest and healing and through the dark times because
Hmm.
like I kind of see that in my next year too because when I get to the relationship thing I wrote
Yeah.
that I need to get really clear on who really deserves a deep connection with me.
Yeah.
So that was cool because I don't think I could give myself enough value.
The gluten-free cookies are not bad. With chocolate.
Before. So thanks, Jen.
You're very welcome. And it's also good to hear that the gluten-free cookies are not that bad because sometimes gluten-free cookies can be disgusting. It's so cute. Paige is gonna be like, oh shit. Um, this is so good. So yes, that's exactly it. And see how Ellie started putting some pieces together in her head as she started going through all the different areas. That's a great emoji, Steph. I love your emojis. I think you put a toilet up yesterday. It was really funny to me. And so that's what we're doing. So by going through these, and so here's also what might be happening is you're gonna go through something, and let's say you hit relational area of life, and you're like, oh wait, that just sparked something inside of me that made me want to go up here and change something. Kind of like how my social and financial areas are going. Like, oh, I want to donate more of to different organizations, but also I want to bring my time. And so maybe those two I'm gonna bounce between to kind of figure this out in my headspace. There's no right or wrong answer here. Also, remember, these questions are completely and utterly arbitrary. They're just what I ask myself. So you're looking at this, if you're like, this is the dumbest question I've ever seen, great, forget it and write down your own thought process. Right? I'm not some like guru that knows everything that she's doing. I'm merely getting us to be intentional. That's always the most important part for us to remember. So we're looking at these questions. You're like, oh, this question would really be easier for me if I just switched up a couple words. Great. Do that. That's what we do. Let's see. What page are we on? Right now, we're kind of like all over on these pages. If you can kind of see me scrolling up and down, Anna, we're going through the 8 areas of life and writing our intentions. Yes, exactly, Lynette. I'm going back and forth. So anywhere between pages 16 and sorry if this is making anyone dizzy, 16 and 9. And we're gonna move on in just a second anyway, so um hmm, beautiful, beautiful. Let's see. Isn't the New Year's resolution about trying to achieve things or be where you that is what a New Year's resolution is about. Yes. That's why this is not a New Year's resolution. This is an intention. This is just about figuring out what it is that you want your year to look like. Ah, yes, Amanda, look at you. We're creating intentions, not resolutions. Yes, exactly. Because resolutions are about like, okay, where did I suck this year? And how can I not suck next year? And of course, right, all words are arbitrary. We talk about this all the time. A word is what you make it mean. So many of us have resolutions and we've done this and then we failed. And so the word resolution really doesn't sit well with us. If a resolution sits well with you, you know how I feel about that, then use it. It's great. But right now what we're doing is setting intentions. We're setting goals. Not even like goals necessarily. That's why I use the word intentions because it's about the feeling. It's about like what can I do, like how can I get there? How can I align my intention and my goal together? How can I align this intention with this action? How can I say I want better relationships? Like I want to be happier with the people in my life. That's an intention. Great. Now, how do we set goals and actions and do it? That's a totally different thing. That's why this step often gets missed, and it's a little bit more about getting you to start thinking about that. She's our guru. You guys are silly. Let's see. Is there such a thing as a boundary journal? Absolutely. Absolutely. And depends on kind of what you mean by that, Ellie, in terms of what you're asking for, but I could point you in some directions or have you create your own in a way. Let's see. Sabrina says, in the mental area, what mindset shift? Give me a second. Where are we at here? What mindset shift would improve your emotional well-being? Is that what you're asking, Sabrina?
Yeah, like what do they mean like by
Hmm.
mindset shift? Like do
Great
they mean
question.
like what you're thinking, or I mean like what do they
Yeah,
mean by that?
how can you reframe something to improve your what somatic affirmation are you working on, right? That's what this is. But like what what can you shift inside of you? What attachment wound can you heal? You know, I
Okay,
did
so
this workshop to try to be informative towards anyone, but most
okay,
of you ladies are in the program, so you know the words I use when I say things like attachment wounds and limited beliefs, things like that. That's what this is.
okay. So it's
What
pretty much anything that we might would be thinking about that would
Yes.
affect the way we're thinking
Yes, like how you were saying before,
emotionally.
and I know this one's heavy for you, but how you were saying before, like, I'm not worthy.
Hmm.
Maybe you shifting that mindset is going to improve your emotional well-being. If you know how worthy you are, then your relationships are going to be better off for that reason because you're going to bring that worthiness into your relationships, into your communication, into your
Okay.
boundaries, into your needs, and into the depth. Because think about it, if you are with someone
Hmm.
and you're let's turn it like the other direction if I can get quite honest with you for like a hot minute. If
Okay.
in a relationship your sole goal is to help someone else feel worthy all the time, that
Hmm.
might drain you a little bit, won't it?
Yeah.
Right? That's not your job. So that's not other
No.
people's job for us. We don't go into
No.
our relationships seeking our worth out of them. I mean, we all do because that's what's happened,
Yeah.
but it drains other people. So look at the
Yeah.
gift you're giving to other people when you find your worth.
Yeah.
They no longer have to babysit it.
Yeah.
They get to just have you. That's the joy we're bringing.
Okay.
It's a great question.
Yep. Okay. Thanks.
Let's see. Um, let's see. I don't know. I'm going back to the boundary journal thing. Thinking, you know what? Let me think about that. And oh no, I think I'm pretty much caught up here. Okay. That's what I was thinking, so I can see it and believe it. Like when we set a boundary, yeah, if at any time, like this could be one of your intentions for the new year, is journaling more when you do something. I just love looking back at previous years now and seeing how far I've come and seeing the boundaries I used to have to set. Okay, so I did this thing, side tangent. I did this thing last year where I started emailing myself. I only like did it for like 2 weeks in November, but I was emailing myself and then I was like scheduling them out for a date, like a year's date. So in the last 2 weeks, I have been getting emails from last year, Jen. And like some of them are wild. Like some of them are like, you know, Sammy will appreciate this. Some of them are just like, hey, Jen, you're thinking about writing a book. Do you think you could actually do that? Like, nah, that's a terrible idea. And now, like a year later, look where I'm at. Like I forgot that I questioned myself back then. But when I sat down with my intention, I thought, okay, in my vocational area of life, where do I want to be? I didn't expect this. I didn't say, like, I didn't have this goal, but what I wanted was to get my voice out there more. That's what I kept saying. How can I have more impact? And then through that, all of these like ideas came. And some didn't come true that I really wanted. And some did. And some that I never expected came true. I don't control the actions. I just have my intention. I hope that kind of helped to understand a little bit more. Good, good. All right. Let's see. So yes, writing down anytime you set a boundary, anytime you feel anything that feels good to you to write down, I always recommend it. So, with all of this, I'm just looking at the time. Again, I want you guys to kind of go through these and figure them out for yourself, however that looks for you. If you want more help and support in this, bring it into our group coaching tomorrow during homework help, or even next week, I can walk this through with you guys more. No problem whatsoever. Reach out to me and I can work with this. But what we are also going to do then is whenever you get a chance, you can just start writing down, since now you've done all of this in your head space, right? You've figured out what 2025 was like for you. You've thought about how you want 2026. You've thought about your why. You've thought about what's important to you, and you thought, okay, great, here's my intentions. This is what you're gonna put it right here. Just like that, like Ellie's was for the physical area of life, just to have more ease. For the relational area of life, just to have deeper connections. That's Sabrina's. And she'll know she has a deeper connection because she's going to start feeling lighter inside and happier and more fulfilled. And so now, this is kind of the part. This is the kind of resolution-y part, if you will, to some extent. Once you have that intention in mind, what I want us to start doing is, what is your first step? It just takes one step. Just one. I don't want to know every step. Don't overwhelm yourself. What is one step that you can take to do your intention in each one of these areas? Now, again, I wrote little words here. Insert whatever it is you put. For recreational, what is the first step you can take to bring you more joy into your life? Or maybe it's, what is the first step you can take to not feeling guilty in your rest? Things like that. Create these for yourself in a way where you can start seeing, okay, how can I do that? And maybe that's showing up for group, making the intention to keep coming. Maybe that's reaching out to each other in the in between. I know some of you have started liking to do that. Maybe that's, wanting to do more with your family, wanting to take a step back more. That's actually really beautiful and healing. And I've said this before, it's just as important for you to know when to take a step back from your healing as it is when to take a step forward towards it. Because we don't want to do too much. We don't want to. Who was it earlier that just said, like, I'm exhausted from trying to fix my worth? Was that you, Sabrina? Or was that? Yeah, it's that. Like, maybe that was, me, I forget things. That's what it's like, though. We don't want to be exhausting ourselves healing. We just want to live it. And I see Anna says, I'm getting emotional in a way, almost a little sad. That's okay. That's actually really beautiful. It might be just the act of having to look at all of this stuff, or either A, see how far I have to go, or what my year was like. This is hard for a lot of people, and emotional in a hard way, sometimes in a good way. Sometimes it's just emotional to feel supported. And that's all okay. Thank you for sharing that. Amanda has a question. What if I want to do this workbook with my spouse, but he doesn't want to? Then you don't. I know. I know. Remember, he has his own sets of needs. He has his way of doing things. And if your thought process is going towards, oh, this would be so good for him, then I will question that and say, why? Is it good for him, or is it good for you that he has intentions? In which case, then how can you get that for yourself? Does that make sense, Amanda? But it's a great question. It's like anything. Anything in life, like how you said, okay, fine. Anything in life, it's like, I want to like jump start my diet and I'm so excited. Great. How do I get my husband on board? Don't do it. Do it on your own. And then sometimes your ability of getting your life together instigates them to be like, ooh, what you doing? I like that. Remember, it's a gift to give to other people for you to just figure yourself out. But if it is important to you and you go to him and say, this is really important to me. This is a 9 out of 10 important. I really want to go through this with you. Can you go through this with me? It would really mean a lot to me. But we only get so many 9 out of 10s, so use them wisely. You get one a month, okay? Everything can't be a 9 out of 10. That's the problem. All right. I'm gonna start wrapping us up here. For you guys, I want you to go through some of these, think about them for yourselves. There's one on here for each area of life. You're going to see 4 on this page, 4 on this page. And then that's it. If you do need any more support or assistance in this, feel free to reach out to me at any time. We can do one-on-one coaching through this as well. You can schedule in a coaching session. We can do a full 60 minutes where you and I just go through the workbook together and you ask me any question you want. We can also, if you want to, you can jump on the podcast with me and go through this. I love to have a good coaching on the podcast. That might be fun and helpful for the other women that are listening. So if that's something that is interesting you as well, let me know. And with all of that said, that is it pretty much for today. I will go ahead and leave this open for anyone that wants to stay on to ask me any more additional questions. We can dive in. I'm free, honestly, for like the next half hour. It doesn't bother me. But I will go ahead and wrap us up here so I can go ahead and turn off this recording for everyone and say thank you so much. Is there any last minute questions or anything before we wrap up with this portion? I do my little scan. All right. Thank you all so much for being here. I truly appreciate it. Reach out to me at any time if you need anything. You can find me at speak-honest.com. Schedule an assessment with me, whatever it is you need to do. Anyone watching the recording, same for you. And I will speak with you all next time.